Hi everybody on Instagram. Sorry this is late. I totally had a technical malfunction. I was trying to record both Instagram Live and Facebook Live at the same time and it didn't work. Sometimes I have technical difficulties. Anyway, I wanted to pop on real quick and give you the information that I promised you. This is my live real estate question and answer show that I'm doing on Fridays at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And today's topic is going to be getting pre-approved. It's one of the most important processes in buying a home. You have to do this first or you won't be able to do anything else, basically. This won't take very long, so if you guys are on a lunch break or something, it'll take maybe 5-10 minutes. The first thing you need to do is have a really good realtor. And most realtors will have connections to loan officers. So I have a few that I work with, and I know that they're ethical, and I trust them, and I know that they're not going to do anything with your information. So if you do not know a loan officer yourself as somebody that's either related to you, friends, a family, or whatever, like something like that, talk to your realtor first. Ask them for suggestions for loan officers because they work with them on a daily basis, and they know who they are, and they trust them, and they know the ins and outs of it. The first thing you have to know is that when you ask for a loan officer, please ask them to give you maybe a couple of them. Sometimes your personalities won't mesh and you will need to, have a good relationship with them. You want to be able to not have to worry about every time when they call and you're not happy with the way that they deal with their business, or you just don't like them. That does happen. So if you are looking to, start this process, you want to be able to deal with somebody that you trust and that every time you look at your phone, you're not going to be going, oh God, they're calling me again. Because they're going to be your new BFF for the next 30 to 60 days, bottom line. You're going to be talking to them on a daily basis. So for the first phone call that you make to this loan officer, you're basically going to be interviewing them for the job. Just kind of see how you feel when you're talking to them. Your gut will tell you whether, it's the right fit for you or not. The first thing you're going to do is talk to them. They're going to ask you for a few things. They're going to ask you what your income is, how much you make. You're not going to have all of the paperwork right now, but they will need to know what you make every paycheck, how often you get paid, excuse me, how much debt you have. And by debt, I mean, not your Kohl's charge that's $10 or whatever, but major debt that you have, like car loans, any other properties that you may have, boat loans, different things like that, RV loans. You'll need to let them know basically all of your big debts that you have so that they can kind of figure out, well, you make this much and this is how much you pay out monthly, so they can get a net income for you, because your net income is going to basically tell them what you can afford per month. Your net needs to be about 3 times as much as your mortgage payment. So not that is cut in stone, but they still need all that information up front. So they're not going to ask you for proof of all that just in the first conversation. They will probably email you a list of what they're going to need from you. But for that, you might want to give them a little idea of what your credit looks like if you've checked it. If you have any liens against you, child support liens, anything like that, IRS liens, those are the types of things that you'll want to give them as much information all up front. If you don't, then it's going to come up later, and then they're going to be surprised by it. So the only thing that you need to focus on really is being completely honest and let them know worst case scenario, everything about you. If they are asking, for personal information, and if there's any divorces going on and things like that, it would be good to get that all out of the way in the beginning. Then once they give you their list, they will be asking you for different things because you have, certain, each transaction will have different scenarios. So the first thing I know that they will ask you for is 3 months pay stubs. Whether you get paid twice a month, once a week, they need 3 months worth of your pay stubs. They'll need 3 months worth of bank statements. They can use online bank statements, but it must show the entire account number. So if you don't have those available to you from printing them off on the internet, you can go to your bank and just request them to print you out 3 months of bank statements. Just make sure that you've got your account number on them, because they have to be able to show a paper trail on the account number matching the money in the bank. The other thing you're going to need to get together is your last 2 years' tax returns. And at this time of the year, you're going to have to provide this year's tax returns. So if you have not done your taxes yet and you want to get that done and over with, it would be a good idea. If you're doing an extension, you probably want to get that done sooner than later, not wait till October. Okay, so after that is all completed, that is the point where they're going to be able to really tell you exactly what you can afford. If you've been shopping online, which now that everything's available on the internet, that is something that happens a lot, is people start shopping way too soon. And there's no way to stop. You're excited, you want to start looking at homes, but what you think you can qualify for and what you actually can qualify for are usually two different things. And I always advise my clients not to try not to, or to look lower than they think that they can afford, only because by the time you start falling in love with all these houses that you're looking at, you get that pre-approval letter and you qualify for $300,000 instead of $400,000, or in any price point, you qualify for $500,000 instead of $600,000. You're going to be a little bit defeated and you're not going to be as excited. So I always say get the loan pre-approval process out of the way first, so that you can, not be looking in the price range where you're actually going to be able to afford the home. I hate when people start the process and they're already not excited about it, because the best part of looking for a home is being excited about it and picturing yourself in this new place, and you don't want to start that whole transition with this negative attitude because you haven't been able to buy the house that you thought you were going to be able to buy. So that is number one. And until you get that pre-approval letter, once you've given the lender all of your information, you can't even put an offer in on a home. So if you're looking at these houses and you're like, I found it, I found the one, this is the one I want, and then you need to scramble for the next 2 to 3 days trying to get pre-approved. And the houses that are like that are really good deals and really nice, usually fly off the shelves really quick. So there's no way you can do that without a pre-approval letter. When you send in a contract, you have to have that pre-approval letter attached to it, or your contract isn't really going to be entertained by the seller. They want to see that you've already got all your ducks in a row and that you have been pre-approved. And they'll also sometimes want to see a bank statement with the account number lined out to show that you have the money in the bank for the down payment. So depending on where you're at in this process, if you want to, start looking for a house, or you're just thinking about maybe in 6 months, or if you're ready right now, the first step is obviously to get in touch with a realtor. And if you don't have one, I know of one. You can call me, or if you just have questions. If you're working with someone else, or you might be working with someone else, I don't mind. I'll answer any of your questions. Just depends on who you feel comfortable with. But if you have generalized questions that you just want to ask, and it's never going to happen that you and I are going to work together, it's fine. I'm not going to step on any realtor's toes. I don't try to steal people from each other. It's an ethics thing. So you're more than welcome to put your questions in the comments. And even if I have a slow feed on Instagram sometimes with the live questions, but even when you're if you ask the question and I don't respond right now during the live video, I will go back and look at all of the comments down here, and I will get back to you right away. If you want to check out my website is realestatedina.com. Dina is spelled D-E-N-A. It matches my Instagram name. And my email is dinamp@live.com. That's my personal email. It's DENAMP@live.com. So feel free to shoot me a message on there, or check out my background on my website. And if you have anything that you are, have questions about, feel free to ask me. Next week I'll be coming live again. This time I'll be on at 12, I promise. I'll be coming back and we're going to be talking about starting to look for homes where, it gets a little confusing for buyers and even sellers trying to get their values for their homes. The stuff that's out there right now, there's a lot of websites that you can go and browse and look on, but sometimes when you look at these houses, and I get a lot of clients that do this, they'll be online looking at stuff, they'll send me addresses, and I look them up on the MLS, and they're already pending. They're already in escrow. So a lot of times those other websites are that way. So always have somebody that is a realtor that has access to your MLS, your local MLS, that you can actually have check to see if these homes are actually available, because sometimes they stay on those other websites for a little while. So that's just a little tidbit. But that's what we're going to be talking about next Friday at 12, and I hope that I can see you all then too. Let's see, we've got Kevin Heck. That's probably Kevin Hecker. I can't see the picture. Ella, Soulful Moon Journey, Brian Wayne, Honey Boo 2. Oh, I think that's Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Danielle, I see you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. I will be live, like I said, again next Friday at 12 o'clock, this time on time. So I look forward to seeing you next week, and hopefully we can connect during the week if you have any questions. Thank you so much, you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.